Leaves a 19-year-old dead and a 51-year-old behind bars.
The shooting was captured on a neighbor's surveillance camera. Larry Robertson is now facing a murder charge. Fox 4's David Centenary has more on what happened before and after the shooting. David.
Yeah, Stephen, Heather, that shootout happened in the middle of a neighborhood. At least one bullet went inside someone's home. There were parents and children out and about when this happened, again around lunchtime yesterday. One of those neighbors who witnessed the shooting turned over some surveillance video to us. A shootout in the middle of a SEAGOVILLE neighborhood Sunday morning. A 19-year-old man is dead. 51-year-old Larry Robertson charged with murder.
My daughter was laying down on the bed watching TV and the bullet came right through the window and then she was screaming.
The shooting rattling Tanisha Ortega's family.
All that stuff is just out of control, you know? We're supposed to be in a safe environment, and if you're not safe in your home, where are you supposed to be safe at?
Surveillance video shared with police and obtained by Fox 4 reportedly shows Robertson driving a black Kia passenger car near the 19-year-old who's wearing a red sweatshirt. You hear words exchanged, then gunfire. The 19-year-old runs out of frame as he's shot.
Call 911.
Ortega says she tried to help the young man before he died.
And I was just trying to keep him awake, you know, like tell him, don't go to sleep, you know.
The Kia drives off. According to an arrest warrant, SEAGOVILLE police located the Kia and arrested Robertson, who's sharing his story with investigators.
And as far as I know, he is being cooperative.
According to the arrest affidavit, Robertson, who lives in the neighborhood, told police, "That dude came around my house. He had a pistol. He pointed it at me." Robertson's family later told police 2 males were seen on surveillance footage loitering around their home, and one knocked on their door. Robertson's family says he later went out looking for the 2. Footage shows Robertson return, then leave when he's clearly observed to be carrying a rifle. The department, however, believes the fatal shooting should have never happened.
Bad things happen everywhere, but, you know, this is not the way to solve it. You know, gun violence never solves anything.
While the affidavit mentions both Robertson and the 19-year-old exchanged gunfire, it does not specify who shot first. Both appear to display a weapon around the same time. No weapon was found on the 19-year-old, according to police records. It's unclear if someone else was with him out of view during the shooting.
And then he just was gone just like that.
Ortega, who says she watched the 19-year-old pass away, describes it as a haunting encounter.
It just was like shocking. I don't even want to stay here no more. It's not safe, you know?
What's the deal, my people? Thank you for joining me in my channel, Panama's OG Truth. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me right now. And before we get into this one today, I just want to give you a fair warning. This is a tight, sensitive, tense situation, okay? I'm not here to take sides. I'm not here to put nobody down. I'm not here to offend nobody. I'm just giving you my point of view through my eyes, through my experience, Panama's OG Truth. Let's get that understood. Let's get into it. SEAGOVILLE, Texas. SEAGOVILLE, Texas is a town right outside of Dallas. It's considered part of the DFW, or as better known as the DFW area, okay? And this town, SEAGOVILLE, it has a little bit of everything. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, African. It has a little bit of everything. The crime rate is very, very low. It's not a high crime rate like other parts of the DFW, the Dallas-Fort Worth area. South Dallas, Oak Cliff, West Dallas, Pleasant Grove, these are more notorious areas for this type of gun violence, okay? So SEAGOVILLE is not known for this type of violence. I just want to point that out to y'all. So to see what we see right here in the middle of the day at 11:30 on April 27th, Sunday morning, it's Let me give it to y'all. A shootout in the middle of a SEAGOVILLE neighborhood on Sunday morning left a 19-year-old man dead, 19 years old. 51-year-old Larry Robertson is now charged with murder as a surveillance video shared with police and obtained by the news outlet reportedly shows Robertson driving a black Kia passenger car near the 19-year-old, who was seen on camera wearing a red shirt. In the video, words can be heard exchanged, then gunfire. The 19-year-old runs out of the frame as he's shot. The Kia drove off, but according to an arrest warrant, SEAGOVILLE police located the Kia and arrested Robertson, who was sharing his story with investigators. According to the arrest affidavit, Robertson lives in the neighborhood and told police, "That dude came around my house. He had a pistol. He pointed it at me." So, Mr. Robertson, the 51-year-old gentleman, he's telling the police that this young man came to his house, some type of confrontation, some type of words were exchanged, and he pointed a pistol at him. The 19-year-old who was killed has been identified by family members as Kayshawn Henderson. The SEAGOVILLE police chief believes that the fatal shooting should never have happened. Bad things happen everywhere, but you know, this is not the way to solve it. Gun violence never solves anything. The shooting rattled Tanisha Ortega's family. Tanisha Ortega is a young lady that lives in the same street where this happened. And this is sad because you have kids, you have families. This is a residential area. And for kids to witness something like this, it's heartbreaking, y'all, and it's sad. And this young lady, Tanisha, she's actually, the person that saw this young man die. He died in her arms. Let me continue, y'all. "My daughter was laying down on the bed watching TV, and the bullet came right through the window. Then she was screaming," Ortega said. So one of the bullets went straight through this little girl's window. Thank God it didn't hit her or anybody else in the house. This could easily been more than one person dead. People that have nothing to do with this shootout. And this is what happens when you have these types of shootouts in the middle of a residential area. They're firing indiscriminately, bullets don't have no name, and easily we could have had a child also dead. Thank God nobody else got hit. While the affidavit mentions both Robertson and the 19-year-old exchanged gunfire, it does not specify who shot first. And I want y'all to look at this video. For a split second, I believe that Mr. Kayshawn Henderson pulls out his pistol and starts firing first. Split second, like I said, you have to really, really pay attention. But Mr. Robertson, the 51-year-old gentleman, he comes out the Kia with the assault rifle blowing, aiming, okay? And this is the thing that I'm trying to say. 51-year-old Mr. Robertson, he looks like he's done this before. He looks like he was very, very cool, calm and collective, comfortable coming out of his vehicle with the stick in his hand. He's aiming and he hit this young man, may God rest his soul, he hit him in the chest multiple times. So by the time this young man starts running away, where you can't see it on the camera, when he goes on the side of the fence, he's already hit. These are his final moments. And you can see Mr. Robertson, he kind of jogs over there and takes a look. And when he realizes that he done hit the young man, he just casually trots back to his vehicle, gets in the vehicle and drives off. This is something that when I saw it, I was like, damn, like he was real, real comfortable. I wouldn't put it past that he's done this before or something of this nature. And like I said, I'm not here to take sides. I'm here to give it to you, Panama's OG truth. That's it, okay? Now, let's go back to Mr. Kayshawn Henderson, the 19-year-old. What is he doing walking around the neighborhood with a gun? That's number one, okay? If you gotta walk around your own neighborhood with a gun, then something is going on, you up to something, or you just live in a rough-ass neighborhood where you gotta keep the gun with you. This is not the case. That neighborhood where this happened is not a neighborhood that's known for gun violence, drug dealing. It's none of that over there, okay? So for him to be walking around with a gun, 9 times out of 10, he was up to something. This is the other one that you gotta pay attention to. If you pay attention to what the young lady at the house, this is Mr. Robertson's stepdaughter, his wife, him, and his stepdaughter lived at this house. If you pay attention to what she tells investigators, she says that 2 young men approached their house. One of them knocked on the door while the other one stayed in the street. She said that when she looked through the camera, she could tell that they were kind of like, sign language, talking to each other, but it looked suspicious. She didn't answer the door. But she told her stepdad, Mr. Robertson, that these 2 young men were out there and they were lurking around. I don't know if he confronted the young man, but he says that they pointed a pistol at him. One of them pointed a gun at him. That's what he told the police, okay? So right there and then, these young men, they move on. They continue walking, all right? But Mr. Robertson, he gets in his car, the black Kia, and he swings around the neighborhood until he spots either one or both of them. I don't know, that's not something that's been detailed, but he spots Mr. Henderson. So he goes back to the house and he gets the pole, the stick, the assault rifle, gets back in the ride, comes back around, and this is what you see right here in this footage. You can hear them exchanging words. I don't know what's being said, but I'm pretty sure it's nothing nice. And from the moment that Mr. Robertson gets out the car, he's blowing. But if you closely pay attention, it looks like Mr. Henderson starts blowing first. Obviously, he sees Robertson getting out the car with the assault rifle. Either way it goes, this is what you call cold-blooded murder. And I'm gonna tell y'all why. From the moment Mr. Robertson got in his car with an assault rifle and he went looking for these young men, right there and then, it's what you call premeditation. He went back and got the assault rifle. Keep that in mind. Now, if he would have pulled the assault rifle right there and then when they pointed the gun at him in front of his house, then he's in every right to protect his family, his house, and himself. But it didn't happen like that. They kept on walking. So if he felt that he was in danger or his family was in danger, what the law is gonna say, you should have called 911. You sit in your house with your assault rifle. If they try to come in your house, you protect your house by any means necessary. But this was not the case, y'all. And this is what I want you to understand. Those young men, they kept on walking. They moved it on down. Robertson, he pursued these 2 young men with an assault rifle. And from the moment he got out the car, you see him. He's letting it go. So right there and then, he can't say that it's an act of self-defense. I mean, this is what you call, like I said, cold-blooded murder, all right? He caused the death of this young man, and this could have been avoided. And it's sad because you have a 19-year-old young man that just 48 hours before this happened, he was at a prom, just starting life. From what I see, he did have a criminal background. He did get in some trouble, and I'm not here to demonize or spit on his name because the young man is already gone. But he did have, like I said, a criminal past, and he's walking around with a gun. So obviously, Mr. Henderson, he was not a schoolboy. He was not a saint. He was not a choir boy, all right? And like I tell y'all before, and I'm gonna tell you again, these youngsters out here that wanna be with the strap, wanna be playing gangster, they don't realize what they're getting into. And I'm not here, like I said, to put him down. He's passed away already. I'm just telling you from my point of view. You have a lot of youngsters out here that don't realize what comes when you pull out that pistol. If you pull out that pistol or you flash it, you better get ready to use it. Because everybody's not gonna react the same way. I'll tell you that right now. Every action has a reaction. In this case, Mr. Robertson went and got his stick, came around, spotted him, and you see what happens. A tragic, yes. Very, very tragic. Could have been avoided? Of course it could have been avoided. But let this be a cautionary tale to my youngsters out there. Like I said, you playing the game and you don't even know the rules. Simple as that. And in this case, it cost this young man his life. Mr. Robertson, you didn't have to kill that young man. You didn't have to go looking for him. You made this encounter possible by getting in your vehicle and looking for these young men. And this is the other part that we gotta say, we gotta talk about, okay? You obviously see Mr. Henderson, the 19-year-old young man that passed away. He has a gun. He's letting it go. He's firing, okay? They're shooting at each other. But when the police pulled up and searched his body, they didn't find the gun. They didn't find the gun. So that means that whoever was with Mr. Henderson, he hasn't been identified, he retrieved that gun and disappeared. That's something that we gotta look at, okay? But he did have a gun. And it's an unfortunate situation because anytime you live in this type of lifestyle, anytime you're in the streets, this type of shit happens. And it's sad because 19 years old, he still could have got his shit together and did great things in life. Mr. Robertson, at 51 years old, he's gonna be locked up for the rest of his life. There is no way around that. When they arrested him, he had the assault rifle on the passenger side, fully loaded. Like, he didn't give a fuck. He put that bad boy down right there and drove off. That's how they got him. So this is what you call an open and shut case. They have the footage from a neighbor. You can see it right here. And then you have the assault rifle. You have the weapon. So this is an open and shut case. And I'm telling y'all right now, it's sad because the Henderson family lost a young man, obviously a son. You can see the pain. You can hear the pain in his mom's voice. Sad.
In the middle of a SEAGOVILLE neighborhood on Sunday left a 19-year-old man dead and a 51-year-old man in jail. The mother of the man killed told us she's relying on prayer as she mourns her son's death. Sophia Beausoleil has the story.
Sunday morning just before 11:30 at the intersection of Fountain and Canterbury Drive in the SEAGOVILLE Farm subdivision. A shootout in the middle of the neighborhood was captured on a resident surveillance camera. You can see a man in red walking when a black car pulls up. Police say the driver, 51-year-old Larry Robertson, got out of the car with a rifle. SEAGOVILLE police say some words were said before the two exchanged gunfire. Police say some bullets damaged people's properties. The driver, who lives in the neighborhood, took off. Police say the man who was walking, who also lives in the neighborhood, died at the hospital.
Very upsetting. It's very upsetting to the police department. It's very upsetting to the community, everybody that's involved.
Authorities haven't officially released the victim's name, but family members identified him as 19-year-old Kason Henderson.
I love that picture because he looks so handsome.
Chanel Henderson says her son enjoyed life and loved music. The last time she saw him was Friday night for prom before she went out of town.
We talked after prom the next day. We talked on the phone. And then the next thing I heard was that my child was dead.
The suspect, who lives less than 2 minutes from the shooting location, was charged with murder and remains in jail. In an arrest warrant affidavit, police say Robertson and his family told officers two people were outside their home. One knocked on the door, and family members found it suspicious. Robertson went searching for them. According to the document, Robertson told officers, quote, "That dude came around my house, he had a pistol, he pointed at me," unquote. It's unclear if the 19-year-old was the same person Robertson saw in his home surveillance video. SEAGOVILLE police say the investigation is in the early stages. But regardless, remind people to always call 911.
They need to call the police department and let there be a referee or a middleman, somebody that is a neutral third party.
Chanel says she's waiting on the facts of the case to come to light, and for now is reflecting on her son's memory.
I see 19 years of my love, my sacrifice, my blood, sweat, and tears. I see my baby.
In SEAGOVILLE, Sophia Beausoleil, NBC5.
SEAGOVILLE police say the Texas Rangers are also helping them with the
Sad. My
investigation.
hat goes out to her and her family. My condolences. And Mr. Robertson's family. They lost somebody who's probably providing for his family. Family man himself. Gone. Behind what? Your pride. You got mad because these youngsters were probably trying to hit a lick. And you were like, nah, they ain't coming to my house with that shit. But you didn't have to pursue them. You didn't have to go looking for them. Because 9 times out of 10, this was gonna happen if you pursued them. And this is exactly what happened. Sad story. We must learn from this. And at the end of the day, if you out there in them streets, like I say, you don't know when your time is coming. You think that you're invincible, you think you can get away with certain things, and when reality hits, it's too late, y'all. Much love and God bless. To the next one, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. That's the only way I'm able to bring it to y'all. Okay? Like I said, this is something that most people are not aware of. They're not talking about it. I'm not commercialized. I'm speaking from the heart, what I've been through in life. And when I see this type of shit, it breaks my heart, y'all. Much love and God bless. To the next one, Panama's OG Truth.